Hello and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your daily reading for August the 21st, 2021. And I got a whole heap of information around that. The full moon in Aquarius this morning as I was waking up around what this moon is doing. And it's quite intense. It can be quite a tricky energy that's coming through with this. And what it's doing is it's shining the light of truth over everything. And it's almost impossible to look away from this. But you can look away, but then you're still feeling it because the Aquarian moon feels like it's in your head, but it really resides in your heart. There's this cool starkness to it. There's this detached energy that feels like you're seeing everything really clearly. And I just kept getting the words, the truth. You're being shown the truth really, really clearly. And it's impossible to not see it. And that can be really confronting for some people. It can be hard. And it's not only your own personal truth, you're connecting to a collective energy. So it's the truth of others. It's the truth of the planet. It's the truth of humanity, as well as your own personal truth. So it's a lot to kind of take in when you're looking at it like that. And it doesn't, there's like I said, there's this, it doesn't shy away. It's just like, boom, this is the truth. And for some of you that are empaths or very sponge-like with your energy, like you pick up on a lot of other people's energy, this can be really hard. Like for me, I'm used to protecting my space a little bit so I can live in my little bubble. So I'm not taking on other people's energies too much. And sometimes I do avoid the news because it can be horrible. And there are some things happening in the world today that are hard to understand. But with this energy, it's opening you straight up to it. And so you can be feeling these intense levels of emotions that feel like they're not yours, but at the same time, they're connecting you to what's happening, that feeling that could be inside of yourself as well. So yeah, it's interesting energy. It's tricky. But then what they said was because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, it's like, well, why? Why are we being shown the truth? Why the truth does liberate. And with this energy, it can be like, but there can be a feeling of hopelessness, of powerlessness, like I can't change all the things that are wrong with the world. But then the words I got was that old saying, I don't know exactly where it's from, but it's be the change. And if you can sit with this truth, it doesn't ask us to change. That's the thing. It just shows us the truth. But there's this natural progression that the liberation is in some kind of decision that's made within yourself or some kind of personal change that occurs. And after that process starts happening, you feel the energy shift and it then moves into kind of more of a star card energy where you can feel a little bit more hopeful for the future. Now that process will be different for all of you, may happen at different stages, and it depends if what you've got in your chart, because you're going to be feeling this very, very intensely, particularly if you're an Aquarius or have any Aquarius in your chart, or Leo, or any of the fixed signs as well, Taurus or Scorpio. So yeah, there's a lot happening with this. And so that's why some people can just be feeling really off and terrible. And some people can be feeling on a real buzz and a high, depending on how you respond to this. So we'll see what's coming in. We have the Three of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is really interesting because that's looking at areas, this is self-imposed blindness or limitations. And this moon is like ripping those blindfolds off where you're seeing something so clearly now that, yeah, it's like, but I didn't really want to see that. There was a reason why I was blindfolding myself. Justice. Now, justice is interesting because brings in new contracts, but she holds that sort of truth as well and brings in the balance. So that is nice. It's bringing in the potential balance. And then there's this Eight of Cups walking away from a feeling or an energy that is not fulfilling you anymore, detaching from that. And the word detachment is really important here because that is that real Aquarian energy. It's detached. That's why it's an interesting moon, because it's it can feel, people who with Aquarius moons, and my son actually has an Aquarius moon, they can feel really, really detached from things as if they don't care, but they do. But they're just, it happens, you can feel that really deep down. They feel it really deep down, and they're very connected to the collective and how everybody's feeling. But it may look like they're not. It may look like they're detached and they don't care. And that's kind of the interesting energy. It's like that Buddhist energy that you detach, but it doesn't mean you're not there and you're not with people, but you're able to detach from something. So we also have the Ace of Wands, which is great because we still have to remember that we are in Leo season still, and Aquarius is the opposite sign to Leo. And this is where the new erupts out of. This new desire, this new feeling can erupt out of these feelings of limitation, where that is, you're being liberated from that. So it is powerful. It's a potent energy. It's something you can really step into. And there's a sense of, once you make this decision, it's a there's a contract around this. So whether it is like a legality or whether there's a soul contract, there's a commitment and there is something final, like you're signing the dotted line with this. Now, it's interesting. We also have the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. A lot of really lovely energy coming through. Taurian energy as well, around feeling free. Like the Nine of Pentacles is around feeling grateful and free and feeling abundant in your world. And it's sitting right next to the Eight of Swords, whereas you might not be seeing this because you've got these blindfolds next to you. And there are some energies still working. There's always things happening in the background, even if they're not the dominant energy. So the Three of Pentacles was this sense of a sense of collaboration. It's kind of interesting, of feeling your worth. Really, it's around what it is that you have to offer and give to the world, your place as a valued member of society. And again, that Aquarius moon will show you the truth of that quite starkly. And that's where we come back to that adage, or that saying, be the change, because sometimes we do shut ourselves off and not give because we don't feel worthwhile, or we don't feel like whatever that thing is that we're good at. So we're not going to offer that. But this Three of Pentacles is saying there is a lot here for you to be grateful for. There's a lot here for you to think of worth within yourself. You have a lot to give. And so, yeah, it's asking you to walk away from an energy that is keeping you very limited with this Eight of Swords. It's wanting you to, that's the other thing this energy does, it really opens you up. You can't stay in this Eight of Swords energy anymore. So this Ace of Wands energy, when you can get to that, and some of you might be there, some of you haven't got there yet, but when you get there, it's an excited energy. It's like, I want to be doing this. I want to be really bringing this energy into the world. So it's this new kind of passion that erupts up through it. And it could be connecting you to things like we had the energy of a dream or a hobby or a skill that the universe is wanting you to showcase, because it is that thing that if we are the best version of who we are, we then help the world, even though we might feel helpless in terms of situations that might be happening further afield. So it comes back to that thing of be the change again. And we're not going to be solving all the world's problems, but it is just looking at an activated change within yourself. But you're not being asked to change. This is really your choice, your decision. And so, yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's very interesting. And so it doesn't have to be a big thing as well, I'm being told. It can be something really small, like I'm going to start giving someone flowers more often to tell them how much I appreciate them in my world. I'm going to smile next time I get my coffee, because usually I'm not friendly, but maybe I'm going to be friendly and start being more interactive. So they can be what I'm being shown. It's the little things that make the big differences, and that's the thing where it starts from. And yeah, this could be a huge change as well coming in, but it's just seeing, because the Nine of Pentacles is around your world, and it's seeing those little things and just making those little improvements with your world. So it's a great day to kind of really sit down with a gratitude journal and maybe write some things down that you are actually grateful for in your world, and some things that you think that you could be bringing in that could be making your world, and not only your world but others, better. So, but you don't have to do that, but that's just what was given to me. So yeah, it's an interesting energy, and those blindfolds taken straight off, and like I said, there's a liberation to this. So we are seeing with the moon energy, the moon is nice and full there in this Eight of Cups, that you're walking away and detaching from something, leaving something that was not fulfilling you, and walking away from that. And that's a very, very important energy with this. So yeah, it's complicated, but it has, with any of these kind of really intense energies, it has freedom and liberation associated with it as well. So that's it. Just wanted to share all those insights that came to me very first thing in the morning. I'm like, oh, I've got to get up and do the reading and share. And hopefully that will be helpful in some way. Thanks for joining me. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.